Hi everyone. We're going to talk today about sacred space and why it is so important to set sacred energy in your home where you meditate in all areas of your life. So here we are, sacred space. How do you create your sacred space? For me, sacred space just happened naturally over time. It wasn't something that I was taught. It wasn't something that I went, okay, today I'm going to set a sacred space. So, sacred space means the space that you use for your journey, for your meditation purpose. If you're a healer, a masseur, a therapist, what is it that is set the intention in that space? So, the first thing we look at with sacred space is to set an intention. Now, what that means is each space that you use within your home or your business has its own place, its own unique vibration. All right. So for me, it started off with meditation. I wanted to create a space for meditation. That space then became more energetically aligned with my intention, which was when I enter this space, when I sit down in this space, when I light my candle or incense in this space, if I bring elements of nature into this space held me. This space held me in meditation. So the first thing I say to people to set sacred space is to ask yourself, what is the intention of this space? What do you want to achieve in this space? What do you want the energy to be in alignment with you in this space? So if it is about meditation, it is about peace. It is about calming the mind. It's about connecting to guidance. It's about opening up to something greater than what you are. You know, whatever depth you are at and where you want to meditate, that's usually the first place that people understand how to set intention. So for me, it was meditation. So I would set a space in my room and in my home. If I didn't have a separate room that I could close, I would do it in my bedroom, and I would put a chair there, a table, somewhere where I could light a candle or light incense. Be comfortable in the chair, make sure you're warm and cozy, put a blanket over there if it's winter, have air conditioning or slow fan going in summer. So this is about setting intention. I want this place to be sacred, that I am the only one to sit in this space. Now, that's one thing I'm going to tell you. It's hard when you have children, I understand this, to say to your children, this is my space, please honor this. Don't come in, don't play in here, don't touch anything in here. It's difficult for parents who aren't good boundary setters and holding their boundaries. Yeah. All right. Yes, I will answer that soon, Jody. So what's happening here is, in the beginning, the first thing you do is you set a sacred space for meditation. That is usually the easiest space to set, because I say to people, when you first begin meditation, you have that one chair, that one space. The space may only be 1 meter by 1 meter wide. It doesn't have to be massive, all right? It can be a tiny little space in your main bedroom that you share. That is my space. Please do not touch it. And teach your children about energy. Teach them about sacredness and about respect and about honoring. Now, this is great for them to know. And what they'll want to do, they want to gravitate to that space. Do you know why? Because the energy coming off that space is something that they're attracted to, and they want to go and rest in there as well. And that's all right, but make it a silent space for them. No touching, silence, if you are not good at setting boundaries. Because I know I was a good boundary setter. If I said to my son, this is my meditation space, please do not enter, my son didn't. He would occasionally go in and have a sneak peek, but he never really grabbed anything, picked it up, touched it, did anything like that. All right. Yes. So basically, sacred space, the more you sit in one place to meditate, the more you sit in one place to contemplate, every time you go to it over time, that space imbues that energy. So the calmness of meditation, the peace of meditation, it starts to imbue into your environment. So that one little space. So over time, every time you sit, same chair, light your candle or incense, put a flower there, do a little bit of prayer, sit down, close your eyes and meditate. All that energy is saying to the atmosphere, this is sacred, this is the energy of this space. So you always do it in the same place all the time. This is ritual in sacred space. Have an intention. This is my meditation space. I'm going to keep repeating that because I know many people will try different places. Over time, if you do not have one sacred space in your home to begin with, your energy will be scattered, just like the energy in the home, because you're not growing that energy. You're not building it in a beautiful, beautiful, sacred way. All right. You know, in India, where I go, there are many temples. Some of them are thousands of years old. And that statue, the sacredness, the honoring, the rituals, the intention, the meditations that are all placed in that one temple imbues the energy. When people walk into these temples, they're like, sometimes you can actually have your breath taken away with the intensity of that energy that has been imbuing and growing and loving and nurturing over centuries. This is why people have temples to go pray in, to go do their worship. Bring it into your home. Start it there. So meditation is usually the first place where people begin setting sacred space. And as I said, the more you sit in that place, the quicker you can go into meditation, because it's not just you trying to do meditation. The energy in that space, your body sits and it goes, we're meditating. This is the meditation energy. I can feel it. I remember it. It's like it goes back and back and it keeps redoing that same pattern. Yeah, you're changing the neuron pathways as well when you sit in the same place. This is my meditation space. I am now meditating. You get up, you go and you do all the things in your home. When you meditate, I'm going to meditate. Here's my intention. I'm going to meditate. What do? I go to my chair in that space. I am now meditating. Your neuron pathways are going to get changed. In the end, you will just sit in that space. And you will be calm and you will be peaceful. And then whatever room you have it in, that whole room ends up with that energy. And people walk in and they're like, oh my gosh, I can just feel the peace. Oh, that feels so good in here. So this is how it begins. One space, keep going. So to set energy, it is about, I always say, bring the elements in, the 4 elements. You can use earth, bring in plants into your home, use sage to smudge, use rice on your altars and salt. Use a sand and rake as a Zen practice contemplation. You have one of those little, Zen rakes and just sit there contemplating. Rice in altars, it absorbs. Rice is an absorber of energy. So anything that comes through that is maybe subtly emotional or things that you don't want, the rice soaks it up. Okay, so rice is a really good cleanser of a sacred space. All right, in fact, anywhere in your home, you could actually have like a little plate and you can bring in maybe some cacti, little plant, and you can put rice in a dish near it. You can put a candle, you can put a bit of earth, a little bit of rocks, bring all the elements in. But rice is really good as an absorber. All right. So wind. All right. Air and wind to flow through your home. One thing I learned as a child was my mother never closed windows fully. Every bedroom, whether it was freezing cold in winter, mind you, we don't live in snow, so I'm not going to suggest this to people who live in -50, but our windows were always open, never fully closed. Why? Because the fresh air would come in and it would move through the atmosphere of the home. Doors open. In winter now where I live, look, I cut classes as cold, but I'm tropical winter. I'm climatized. But I always have a window open or a door open. I do close things up as it gets, later in the day when the cool comes in. But the wind and air, leaving doors and windows open gives a flow. So energy flows. It will move all the time. It will constantly flow. So make sure you do that. Leave some windows slightly ajar. Let that air come in, no matter how cold it is. It aerates the home. I'm just reading some notes here. And it clears the energy that may be stagnant. So that's a really great way. What it can do is the wind element can flow on sound vibration to clear unwanted energies that don't match the frequency of your home. I'm going to read that one again. It's a really good one. Okay, use wind chimes is what I'm going to tell you. Why? Because if you use wind chimes throughout your home, I have some small little glass ones, feng shui ones inside, and I have bigger ones outside. When you use these throughout your home, this allows for the wind element to flow on a sound vibration to clear unwanted energies that do not match the frequency of your home. So sound is a frequency within itself. Sound can also clear, all right? But the wind, using wind chimes, it resonates in atmosphere and it changes the vibration of what it's at. So use wind chimes in your sacred space. Those little glass ones are beautiful inside. Sometimes if you have a long hallway with a door at the front and the back, to break the energy up that's coming in your home, going all the way through and leaving your home, you put a little glass wind chime in the center of a hallway. And even though there's no wind in there to move it, it will subtly touch particles of energy that are traveling in atmosphere in your home, and it breaks it up subtly and send it to where it's needed to go. That's a really deep one to understand. All right, fire. How many times have you lit a candle or a fire in your home, or your stove, your gas stove, incense? How many times have you actually got that lighter or struck a match? Hundreds of times, I guarantee it. Thousands even in your lifetime. Mine, I do it I could probably do it 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 10 times a day when I light incense. Okay, and candles. So fire element is very powerful. If you bring the fire element in, you light candles. Notice which colours you're drawn to in candles, or what fragrances you're drawn to, because that's what your energy is saying is needed in the home. Which fragrances lift your energy. I know these days we all use diffusers, not many people light candles, but there is something powerful about bringing fire in, the fire spirit into your home, and thank it. Oh my gosh, how many times when you have lit a lighter or a match, struck a match, have you actually thanked the fire spirit? Yeah, I'm telling you, I do it every time, and I've done this for near on 30 years, if not longer. It was something that was so natural to me. When I would light my lighter and I've got my incense, I say to myself, I light it and I go, thank you, fire spirit, for lighting my incense today. And I light the incense. That is a ritual in itself, and I'm in my sacred space when I do that. Thank you, fire spirit, for lighting my candle. When you thank the elements and you honor them in a sacred way, I guarantee you will never have trouble with fire. You will never have trouble with water. with the earth, you will never have trouble with these elements because you are honoring them, you are bringing them into your home, and you are saying they are sacred of the earth. And then they imbue your home in a positive way. They will protect you and look after you. The elements are powerful, so powerful. All right. Okay, light incense. A lot of people don't like lighting incense these days. It's something I always do. I have found an amazing incense that I have been burning for over 30 years now. It has to be imported from India, and I have a lot of it. I buy through a wholesaler so that I don't run out. And the reason I say that is in my healing spaces, in my home, when I burn this incense, I've never in all these years had one person say to me, oh, that's affecting my asthma, or that's too strong for my sinuses, or that smells off. I've never, ever, ever had anyone complain because it is the most healing, beautiful incense ever. It is called Bharat, which is Barath, Bharat, Darshan, Darshan incense. If you can find it, it's very, very rare you'll find it in local shops, but you can get it from wholesalers. All right, so the Bharat Darshan incense. It is amazing. All right, so incense to me is that burning of ritual, setting my intention, having the incense cleanse the home, cleanse the space, bringing the fire element in. Now we go to water. Water element can be one of the most powerful elements on the planet. Yes, in your sacred space, bring in water. Why? Because if you honor water, water will not harm you. Water will hold you. Your emotions will be easier to deal with because emotions are water. So how do we do that? How do you bring water element into your sacred space? Bring the element of water in by using a water spray bottle. Now, this is something I learned a long time ago to give an extra lifting of energy in sacred spaces or in healing spaces that I use. So I would get a spray bottle, fill it with water and my essential oils. I would tune in to see which one I would like in atmosphere, and I would put 2 to 3 different ones in depending on the blend, and I would put them in and I would spray that in the atmosphere. How to create a sacred space? That instantly releases any heaviness, any charge that's still left in atmosphere from an emotion, someone being angry, someone being annoyed at you, if you've had an argument in the space with someone, if it's been uncomfortable to be near that person. All of this is energy, and it comes off us into the sacred space, no matter where you have it. So if you spray, you lift it, the spray, the water actually just releases it. It dissipates it in such a way. Yes, and water features, Jody. Yes, I was just about to say that. A water feature, having it trickling, all those, they call it negative ions into the atmosphere is what we need, not the positive or the negative. It's a weird thing to say, but I'm no scientist, so I'm not even going to go into that. But the negative ions, it's like when you go to the beach and you feel alive and you feel, regenerated. Well, that's what water features do. All of that molecules of the water spray, when you've got a little waterfall and it's hitting, and it literally sends spray into atmosphere, that cleanses. So wherever you have a water feature, when you sit near it, you will feel like you can breathe better. You will feel that the energy is lighter and it's more open and it's freer. That's because the water element is doing its job. It's healing and it's clearing. And yes, Jody, the sound of the trickling water, that is peaceful. It actually is like you can use that as a shower to actually take away all heaviness, all thoughts that are not in alignment with who you are. Here's another thing, beautiful water in your home. All right, now, how do we keep a sacred space clear? Well, we've talked about all of these, but one I want to talk to you about is, let me just see, sorry, I'm just going to, house clearing. I know we use incense, we use sacred sage to do a smudge. Sacred sage is wonderful, but in the beginning, it's great when you've never done a cleanse. I said to my group the other night, over time, people said to me, how do you keep your house so crisp in atmosphere? I actually don't cleanse. And I'm going to say that again. I do not cleanse my home. And I have 20 to 30 people coming to my home for either groups or therapy work or whatever through my breath work. It doesn't matter what we're doing. Reiki, I have people here. Why is it that I don't need to cleanse anymore? I used to, so don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying you don't have to. I used to cleanse all the time, but because my home now is my sacred space, I meditate, contemplate, do healing work. My mind is clear, that the energy that goes out into my environment is clear. The healing that I do is in such an aligned energy of who I am now, that also goes out into atmosphere. When I light my candles, when I light my incense, everything I do has a healing vibration attached to it. Everything I touch. I'm very big on touching. I'm very kinesthetic, where I love to touch things, flowers. I walk past the garden and my hand, will go over a leaf like I'm touching my face. I go, hi, how are you? So everything I'm doing, my hands move a lot. I'm always, I talk with my hands, I move my hands, I share information, because I can actually understand energy. I know what it feels like when it's heavy. I know what it feels like when it's emotional. I know what it feels like when it's blocked. And I know what it feels like when it's flowing, when it has a free flow. So what happens is, over time, because I use all my rituals every day, in every way, in every place in my home, I don't need to actually cleanse, because it is clear every moment. People walk in and they feel it. They don't have to do anything in my home to receive healing anymore. They just spend time here. It's my sacred space. Every home I go into, that energy comes with me, because it is who I am. All right, that is years of intention, years of practice, years of meditation, years of understanding who I am as an energy source being. That's what is imbued in my home. Now, if you haven't got that far in your journey, and if you want to know how to do house clearing, like I said, gather your clearing tools. Salt, incense, the spray bottle, candle, smudge stick if it needed. So, what I used to say is, you find the heart of your home. What is the heart? It is usually the center point of your home. That, to me, the heart of your home is the center. You go there. You stand in the center of your home. You light your candle, and then you sit down. And you meditate on contacting the house spirit. Have you ever done that? Did you know that everything in this reality has an energy source? Everything. So the house has a house spirit. Yes. Have you ever known that? I've found many. Every home I go into, I talk to them before I move my furniture in. I ask them to set intention in every room, in every space. So you go, you sit down in the heart center, the middle of your home. You light the candle and you close your eyes and you meditate on contacting the house spirit or the house guardian, whichever feels right for you. And you ask them their name. Yes, their name. You silently wait. Sometimes the name can be really unusual. Okay, you'll hear something. The first thing is always truth. It could be just Joe Blow, somebody's name. But don't deny it. Don't think, oh, it can't be that. It's not spiritual. It's not profound. I had a house spirit It was so funny. This house I spent 7 years in. I loved it. And when I did this, I sat down. I said, okay, what is your name, house spirit? And it went, Jeremy. And I'm like, oh, hi, Jeremy. Like, it was, I don't know anyone called Jeremy. It was so clear. It wasn't something I was thinking about. So I knew that was truth, okay? The first is always truth. So you get the name. You thank them. But then you thank them for allowing you to be in their space. Thank you for being here. And then you ask for protection. You know, I ask, Jeremy, that you protect me and anyone or my family who live in this home. I ask that you protect me, my family, and anyone who enters this home. Yeah. And anyone who is in this space. So you can set an intention now that you have the name of your house spirit. And you can set the intention of every room. So what you do then is you stand up and you go to each room and you cleanse the room. So you look at, say you're in your kitchen. Kitchen is always about nourishing, yeah? So you could say, I ask, oh, wonderful, John. Someone has a house spirit called John. I love it. Yes. So you ask, you know, can you bring nurture and nourishment and positive vibration of cooking and happy environment into my kitchen? And you do this in every room as you're cleansing. So how to actually cleanse now. So you go to the room, you've contacted your house spirit, you go into each room, and with all your elements, you can use rice, which is an absorber. You can use salt in the room, or what I have done is I have my candle with me, I place it down. I get my incense. Thank you, Fire Spirit, for lighting my incense. I go along the 4 walls of the room, and I just do this like you would sage, yeah? And I just go over each wall, and I say, if there is any energy that is not meant to be in this space, I ask it to leave right now. If there is any energy that is not, I'll say that again, I just heard another word. If there is any energy that is not in alignment with who I am, I ask that you leave right now. I do this constantly, saying it as many times as I can. Then I stand in the center of the room and I imagine spiral white vortex, and it goes around the 4 walls, comes back to the middle where I am, takes up any energy that I have collected going around, and it goes up to universal consciousness where it is healed in a positive way. All right? Yes, it heals in a positive way. So you do this to every room. You are creating such beautiful energy in your sacred space, which is your home. If you are a healer and you have a sacred space, you do this all the time until you start to realize, hang on a minute, I walk in here and it's already open, it's already flowing, it's already free. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. So clearing, you will know when your house is clear because there's this beautiful free-flowing energy. Always remember, sacred space needs flow. Windows open, doors open occasionally, allow movement. Now, energy can never stop. It can get blocked, but it never stops. It means it can build up, but it's always in a vibrating movement. So sometimes in a home, when you have a sacred space and you're using it all the time, what can happen is energy can get blocked. And where it usually gets blocked is in corners or behind bookcases or behind furniture. It can get stagnant and get caught up. Even though it's still vibrating and trying to move, it can be there. One of the greatest things that you can do, and I want you to try this, I loved it when I first learned how to do this, is clapping. Hear that? It's like got a poof, poof noise. Now, when you clap, start up in a corner of your room and you're starting up high and you clap down, you will hear different tones, different sounds that your hands are making. When you hit a block of energy, it's like a boom. You go, whoa, that felt. And so you keep clapping from as high as you can all the way down, as high as you can all the way down, until each clap is crisp and clear. Then you have unblocked and got that energy flowing fully through that room. It's a great one. Practice it, because you're going to be surprised at what sounds come out of your hands. Can the energy get stuck in the walls because it's open and exposed? Salt damp. Salt damp is a different energy. Salt damp comes from foundation. All right, it's not just in the walls. It has come up, it seeps up. There's a seeping energy. So somewhere, have a look. Am I seeping my energy anywhere? You know, is my energy not flowing fully? Yes. I feel that is, when I look at foundations. So when a foundation isn't set properly, when we struggle with foundation, and I'm not talking just about a house or a building, I'm talking about ourselves. What is that foundation for you? Has your foundation really been set strongly? All right. Yes, it's a very hard one, salt damp. Yeah, I would. Let me just feel into that one for you. Right, a clinic room. So you work in a clinic room that has salt damp. So have a look at the proprietors or the business who you work for. Is their foundation strong enough? Are they really solid in who they are, or are they leaking something? So just watch that when you're in that environment, you're not leaking your energies, that you're very contained. Okay, yeah, all right. Now, here we are. What is sacred space? So we can see that all of these elements can come in to create a sacred space. The meditation, use nature. I'm going to just share with you something. When I pack, and I have moved quite a lot over the years, but when I do pack up a home, all of my beautiful healing spaces and all my ornaments, crystals, everything that I've used for many years, I honor them when I pick them up. And I thank them for the energy they've placed in this space, and I wrap them gently and I pack them away. When I get to my new home and I have to unpack, everything I take out, I unravel it and I thank it, and I just tune in and ask, in regard to this space, where would you like to be placed? This is what I used to say. And I would get a feeling, over that in that corner, and I would start the art of placement, this is called. So I would start to place things in my space to where the energy of them, because as I said, every single thing is energy. It can talk to you, it can share with you, it can show you, it can guide you, it can do whatever it needs to do. Okay. Even a clock, even a glass, everything has a vibration to it. So do this. So this is what I used to do, and it would be like boom, boom, boom. The house was set up. It was like Zen energy instantly. I never had to go, oh, that didn't feel right there. Everything was placed. These days, I don't even have to ask. It's like a movement in me that I understand my objects, my ornaments, my furniture, because it's been with me for years, because it imbues who I am. So this is what I'm talking about, sacred space. Sacred space isn't just one little space. Sacred space is your whole life. It's your whole energy field. It's your whole home. It's every single thing that you touch, you place that energy into. So that is sacred space. So yes, I used to feel the energy in everything. And now it's a natural thing. If I go to put something down somewhere, it's like something in me rises from my gut and it goes, yeah, oh, you don't want to be there. Okay, what about over here? So, and then it goes, it's like when the ornament or the plant or something is placed in the perfect space, I go down like that. It's like my whole being drops. Right. Okay, yes, I'm just reading here. Sorry, I don't know your name. It says Connected Mind Body. I love that. Yeah, so you are working for yourself and you rent the space, but you're definitely leaking. Okay, when we leak energy, sometimes it's because we don't trust in ourselves. We believe that we have to give more. Oh, Tilby. Hi, Tilby. We have to give more, that we sometimes, overgive is usually when we leak. I don't believe that anyone can take from us or do this to us. We choose to do it. We open up to more and we give more because we feel that that is what is needed. So just be aware that, it really can be setting boundaries within yourself. And what that looks like, it could literally be that before you walk into that sacred space where you're working, that you seal your energy, that you literally, pull that energy in and seal it. And what that looks like is imagining a beautiful golden light totally surrounding you. I mean, head to foot, like you're cocooned in it. And you ask that this light goes into your work with you. And so your energy will not leave you. You will be more energized, all right? Yes, overgiving. And in the work that you're doing, when we are healers, therapists, that is one of the things that we get drained from. And the only reason that you're overgiving is because you don't believe in yourself 100%. When you do, you will pull back. So practice just putting that light around you and even saying to your guidance, can you please remind me, if I'm draining or if I'm giving too much, to pull back. There's just little things we can do before we begin our day. All right. Now, let me see. My time's nearly up here today. Jody, I'm going to see if I can go back to what you asked earlier. Sorry. So I didn't get back to that. Just having a look here. All right. What is it about finding a special place? I find I need to retreat to my own space away from anyone. All right. When we are big givers, like I was just talking to Tilby there, when we give a lot, we feel depleted. And when you are depleted, you can't re-energize when you're amongst those that have depleted, or sorry, they haven't depleted, that you have depleted yourself too. That's impossible. So yes, we want to retreat. Why? It's kind of like, when at night when we plug in our phone and we need to recharge it. Well, that's what you're doing. You will find your alone place. And as I said, if you can set up this place within your home, just one space, one little space, one chair, one little table, one candle, and you just say to the kids, you know what? This is my space. And please don't sit on that chair. Please don't come into this space. Let me have this one space in this whole home that is mine. And then you go back to that. And over time, you're going to just sit there for a minute and you're going to energize yourself. All right? That's what I would suggest there, Jody. I hope that helps you. Let me just go back. Yes. All right. So here we are. So my entire home over the years is imbued with this energy. I love it. I get up and it's crisp. Everything I do is crisp and clear. Everyone who walks in experiences that. They comment on it and they love being in the presence of it. So when you create this, people want to be in that space with you. They love it. It feels right for them. I'm going to just share another thing I'm just going to share this with you. We have a friend who brings a client around who is very high autism. Now, he is nonverbal. He is a self-mutilator. He's very like this all the time, and he walks around doing like this and squealing, and it's very full on being in his presence. But when he brings him to our home, he walks in, and the smile on his face, and he will even come up to me and fist pump me to say hi. And then he walks around like smiling, and he will go up to every Buddha and every sacred altar I have in my home, and he would just be like excited, and he will touch the Buddhas and then walk away, and then he'll walk around, and then he'll go back and touch the Buddha. And it's just the most beautiful thing, because the friend of ours who looks after him, he's like, I can't believe it. He is never like this. Like the way he is in your home. I don't see this anywhere else. He just loves the energy, and we know it is the energy. He is so vibrating in it, and he doesn't want to leave. Every time they pull up in the car outside, he's practically trying to get out of the car, and he would just come in, and he will go back and forth. And there's one particular Buddha that he loves, and my big salt lamp. I have this big salt lamp, and he will either go into that and just touch it and then walk away, or happy. So it's the most beautiful thing. When you have a sacred space, people get healed. People, to me, healing is about things leaving so that people can find who they are again. Even in the height of nonverbal autism, that man, he's a young man now, he actually knows and feels the vibration and the energy that is in the sacred space that I call my home. So create your sacred space. Really trust in who you are. Know that you can do this. It's practice. It's setting intention first. This is my space, and this is the energy I would like in this space. Go to every room and cleanse and do that. Call in your house spirit. Let the house spirit tell you what its name is. That'll be interesting. I would love to hear all this. So please, comment more. I'm going to put this live up, and I would love for you to, go on in the comments in my Instagram page, and let's see, what is your house spirit called? I would love to hear the name of your house spirit. Okay, take care. Have an awesome afternoon. Love and blessings, everyone. Bye.